Whoopi Goldberg apologizing again after her initial attempt seemed to be almost as controversial as the comments that sparked it when she tried to justify her claims that the Holocaust was not about race. And it went on and on. I'm Harris Faulkner. This is Outnumbered. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Kayleigh McEnany and Emily Campagno, Fox News correspondent Jillian Turner, and in the center seat today, host of Sunday Night in America, former Congressman Trey Gowdy is rocking our house today. Hello. Goldberg's shocking moments and comments came as the View hosts were discussing a Tennessee school board's decision to remove a novel about the Holocaust from its curriculum. Was this a racist move? Was the question. That was the topic. Well, no, according to Whoopi Goldberg. And then, the cringe-worthy explanation why.
Let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race. It's about man's inhumanity to man.
Okay, here's really where it gets cringy. Her co-hosts were then calling her out, but the comment still created an international uproar, outside the studio where they live. So Whoopi tried to clean things up on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Girls Got Friends. Watch.
I feel, being black, when we talk about race, it's a very different thing to me. Mm-hmm. So I said that I felt that the Holocaust wasn't about race. Mm-hmm. This wasn't based on the skin. You couldn't tell who was Jewish. Mm-hmm. They had to delve deeply to figure it out. If the Klan is coming down the street, mm-hmm. and I'm standing with a Jewish friend and neither one, I'm going to run. But if my friend decides not to run, they'll get passed by most times because you can't tell who's Jewish.
Just last hour, she tried to clean it up again on The View.
It is indeed about race, because Hitler and the Nazis considered Jews to be an inferior race. Now, words matter, and mine are no exception. I regret my comments, as I said, and I stand corrected. I also stand with the Jewish people, as they know, and y'all know, because I've always done that.
Unless the KKK is nearby, in which case you will leave them on the curb. Trey.
I have a couple of pretty simple rules in life, Harris. Don't ever compare anything to slavery. Don't ever compare anything to the Holocaust. And if you're a man, don't compare anything to pregnancy. That's rule number one. Rule number two, if you're going to apologize, then just apologize. Don't explain it. Don't try to mitigate it. Apologize and ask for forgiveness. And number three, as a culture, we have got to do a better job of figuring out who is just famous and who actually knows what he or she is talking about, because sometimes we confuse the two.
Wow. Who got hit by that drop mic? Emily?
Definitely Whoopi did, I think. And yeah, Trey, to your point, I loved her as Oda Mae, absolutely, but I find it really difficult to listen to the things that come out of her mouth, and have, frankly, for decades. And I just wonder, where are the calls for the boycott and the cancellation from the left? Because they seem to be absolutely on fire when Gina Carano put out posts with equivocating Holocaust remarks, right? She was fired from Disney. What about the internal investigation that was launched by CBS after Sharon Osbourne's on-camera comments? We've yet, I think, to see a statement from ABC, however, on this. And Roseanne Barr fired from ABC and her entire show canceled after a tweet she posted. Kirstie Alley, the list goes on. I do not see that same level of total offensiveness and outrage and uproar from the left, because Whoopi is one of their own.
Yeah. Look, Whoopi has a lot of talent. She's done a lot of different movies. I mean, that's not the point, which character she plays or any of that. Right now, she's playing real life. And Jillian,
that's the point.
I wonder how they get on in there, and I've been on that show as a guest. They get together, they talk about what the topics are, just like we do on this one, and you get a feel for where people are coming from. It's unscripted, so you can't know all of it, obviously. But who thought that she could handle that topic? Like who?
And clearly there's a huge risk that ignorance is going to poke through, because frankly, Harris, anybody who says that the Holocaust was not about race is not just incredibly insensitive, but incredibly ignorant. it's important to remind people, and I guess we have to right now, so I'm going to do it, that Hitler and the Nazis got to define the terms of the Holocaust. They got to categorize Jews as a race and use that as a qualification to murder nearly 11 million people during World War II, the vast majority of them Jewish. So to say that the Holocaust was not about race.
Towards one of my three sisters, and my dad didn't care what they did to me. So it's not just chivalry, it's biology. Men don't hit women, and it doesn't matter what the woman has done to you. So, again, I actually like Whoopie. She was the nicest person to me on The View when I went on, which ain't saying that much, but she was nice. But no, those were two of the darkest chapters in the history of mankind, the Holocaust and slavery. And I'm in a state that leads the nation in men killing women. So Whoopie, act, but don't weigh in on the Holocaust or slavery or domestic violence. Just give all three of those a pass.
Wow. Emily, take us home.
I totally agree with you, Trey, and I think to everyone's point that words matter. Why is it that someone has been given opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, time again, to have such a large platform where these words matter, and people who try to weigh in on the national conversation get absolutely destroyed after one? Those comments were horrific about Solange Knowles, and she also weighed in on the Ray Rice controversy where she said, well, it's something to the effect of she should know what's coming to her when you reach out and you hit a 6'4" man or whatever. Those are disgusting. There are entire campaigns being waged against the minimization of domestic violence, and for her to weigh in and do the same is absolutely unacceptable, and I wish we would hear a peep out of ABC for it.
Emily, where are all of these people, these woke folk? Like, where are the people who say they care about canceling? I just don't understand it. But, Trey, you said she was nice to you when you were a guest. She was nice to me when I was a guest, right? And we can choose to look for the good in people. But sometimes you have to believe what they show you. We'll move on.